Hey, it's Daniel, and the following is a clip from our 90-day client creation challenge, which is a system for coaches to organically build clientele for the long term. How do you get people on a call? I would just like to hear from some people. Yeah, I'm just going to establish, number one, it's really important to get people on a call because either you can, on that call, invite them to a coaching call, or you can invite them to the coaching call as the call. So one way or another, you get them on a coaching call so that they experience some kind of form of your coaching or experience a real deeper conversation with you about what they care about, right? And also, that's the place where you can find out about them and what they need. A lot of times we want to coach them, but you need the context of their life, of what's going on, what they care about, what's in the way, what the barriers are. So if you go through our call framework for that, which is the discovering sessions, the delivering sessions itself, that has the template for that discovery call. But how do you get them there, right? How do you get them to show up for that call? Whether it's the connection call or an email or a phone call or a meeting in person, there's so many different ways that people come through your network or through your sphere. I always like to hear a few quick ideas from people. How do you get people on a call?
My most frequent method is delivering something in a group format. It's either like a workshop in the real estate world, or I do some group coaching. Some of it's free, some of it's not. But just getting in front of multiple people and demonstrating my expertise, and then offering it as an opportunity for them to take it further. So that's kind of been my primary method.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna take notes here. Doing group calls with a call to action, whether free or paid.
And that can include podcasts and things, anything where you're in front of more than one person and you are the expert, or are there for something to that effect.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Sherry. Let's go to Eric.
I love that, Sherry. I think that's a great one that I want to start doing. I might be moving to, I know some people in real estate that I'm hoping to set up a meeting soon, so I'm excited about that. My thought here is I'm doing a lot of online stuff because one of my goals in my vision in my life is to be able to work anywhere in the world. So I'm really, really learning the DM game. So I think, first of all, it's super important to the people you are reaching out to know, do you think they might be somebody you could be a client? Sometimes you don't always know, but just kind of, first of all, knowing that, reach out to them. It's about nurturing the conversation. Then how do we get them on the call? I think from the sales background and just from my background in general, it's about knowing their pain points, asking them about it, supporting them in the DMs, building some rapport, then asking about their challenges and their fears. And I'm getting to that point right now with the coaching part. And then it's about asking to go further. Well, it's about the communication and terminology here and how you word it. So I think something that works really well, I know Carlos is doing this, and this is actually something I do in sales too, is asking like an opposing question. So once you know where they're at, you're kind of like looking for a no instead of a yes, and the no actually means a yes. So for example, you're just asking, would you be opposed to get on a call and go further so I can help you and I can support you in this area? Would you be totally opposed? Would you be opposed to that? It's just a psychological thing that kind of breaks down the barrier of people, breaks down their wall, and makes them go, okay, well, I wouldn't be totally opposed. And so then they might sign up for a call right there. So I think it's surprisingly very effective when you use it instead of like, would you be able or would you want to? Doesn't work often that well, but if you say it in kind of a reverse psychology, it really kind of melts their walls and they're like, well, it wouldn't be terrible, so let me give it a try. And that's when you can start converting. So that's where I'm getting now. That's my idea as far as the coaching, but I've seen it work in sales over and over.
Right, I love that, Eric. I've heard a different version of that. Instead of would you be opposed,
Yeah.
would you be comfortable getting on a call with me? you're telling them to be comfortable. That's the positive version. You have the negative version. So I don't know. I should test to see the difference. I like the
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Eric. Rob, how about you?
So I'll just share the strategy that's working well for me right now is going where the people that I can serve are and getting in groups or going to events where they're hanging out. And then just being very intentional about it and building and nurturing relationships. And so, for instance, within the facilitation community, adding value on a consistent basis within that community. And that has led to it being really easy when I think I can help someone to say, hey, I'd love to jump on a call and help you with this thing that you asked the question about. Would you like that? And the answer is, 90% of the time, yes. And so then that leads to something else, which leads to something else, which leads to something else. So that's one. And then going to the events. So it's interesting, the breadcrumbs that happened, even while I'm here. I had a big party Saturday and there were 70 people here and they're all like super accomplished. It was a good group of people. I mean, these are GoBundance people, Hal Elrod people, Front Row Dads people, because the people who I'm staying with are part of GoBundance and Front Row Dads. Hal was RSVP'd, but then canceled at the last minute. But
It's cool.
there were lots and lots of connections, and then they told me to go to the internet marketing party, which is where Christy was running it. And then they told me, actually that was fun yesterday. Then they invited me to go out to see the movie Inside Out 2 and go to lunch. And I noticed that once you start building relationships with people on a personal basis, there's a level of trust and connection that builds up. And already people are reaching out and following up with me on various things. So I think it's being very conscious of where your people are and then putting yourself right in the front of that flow that's taking place with them.
Awesome. Thank you for those 3 shares, Sherry, Eric, and Rob. Now, I just did that to get people on the call thinking about how they get people on a call. And that's not just for Alex and Rewa, that's for everybody. Because there's some ideas in there that I'm like, I could tweak what I'm doing here, or I could maybe shift my strategy to this, which might be more effective. So for everybody listening, you probably got something out of just those shares. And for those of you who did share, you probably thought of something differently just in sharing it.